What's up, fellow tubers? I'm still scrambling to sort out my more regular content, but this is something I've wanted to do for a while. And with the announcement of Pokemon Generation 9, why not go ahead and do this video now? So, as a casual fan of Friendship is Magic, I know the more cynical of you might not want to hear this, but My Little Pony is wholesome, funny, and populated with downright iconic characters that easily transcend any preconceptions about talking horses for little girls. I am also a casual Pokemon fan, and years ago, I half-jokingly observed that a Pokemon team consists of 6 Pokemon, just like Friendship is Magic happens to feature a core group of 6 characters. The, main 6, if you will. On top of that, there are in fact horse and unicorn Pokemon, representing 2 out of the 3 primary races of My Little Pony's setting. The only thing we need to complete the set is a Pegasus. A new generation means new Pokemon, no matter how few they are. So these are my musings on what kind of Pegasus Pokemon we might hope to see if we drew the lottery with this batch and finally completed the set. First up, Water Flying. I was going to say, we don't need any more water flying types. But, after re-examining that number, it's not nearly as bad as normal birds or fish. Either way, Poseidon was the god of horses as well as the sea. Some versions of Pegasus are said to create springs of water wherever they go. And there are some familiar depictions, like Pegasi in Disney's Fantasia, where the bird half mysteriously allows them to swim on the surface of water like swans. So, it's a possibility we have to consider. You can clearly see I have writer's block with the potential names I came up for this Pokemon, but I am mildly attached to the idea of the first form being named Foam, as in foal, a baby horse, and foam, a mass of water bubbles. No creativity in the adult form though, it's a flying horse, so Pegasaur. As for moves, we haven't even seen how Gen 9 is going to play yet, so I didn't have any inspiration for new moves on any of these. Having said that, of the moves that a reasonable size portion, but not an overwhelming majority of Pokemon can use, I'd say this Pokemon would specialize in at least Rain Dance, Aqua Ring, and Life Dew. We'll keep the same stats total and spread as Rapid Dash. We'll cut physical attack down to 70, then beef up speed a tad, because flying, health a little, because water type, and then the rest makes this the special attacker of the horses. From the My Little Pony side of things, a water-type design fits the Pegasi's weather manipulation abilities and Rainbow Dash's blue coloring, so there's at least upsides to this scenario. But I'll admit, this is not my preferred means of getting a Pegasus Pokemon. Next, we have the more exciting semi-obvious choice, Electric Flying. In Greek myth, where the namesake of the winged horse originates from, not only did he carry Perseus on adventures, but it is said that he carried Zeus's thunderbolts. Combine this with several modern examples having light or electrical powers, and electric flying being a relatively underrepresented type combo, this is a strong contender for our Pegasus Pokemon slot. The names don't get much better here, but I do think Pegasus and Jupiterus are sufficiently punny enough to earn me a pity golf clap, right? The primary moves associated with this Pokemon would be some Rain Dance, Thunder combos, Wild Charge, and Electrify, to ensure that every other hit that comes from this Pokemon will have a little tinge of Smite packed into it. Still keeping Rapidash's spread, this time only taking 15 points off of attack to keep the speed increase relative to Pegasaur's, and then make physical and special attack equal, because I don't really see either of those being sacrificed for the carrier of Zeus's lightning, but Pegasus himself wasn't the one generating or throwing the lightning bolts, so special wouldn't be exceptionally higher than physical either. From the My Little Pony side, this design would fit nicely with a certain character who prioritizes speed so much she can break the sound barrier, and the traditional yellow color scheme of electric Pokemon would resemble Fluttershy. In a vacuum, this is the idea I would hope for if we got a Pegasus Pokemon, but all the Greek mythology behind it makes it seem a lot less likely for Gen 9. Okay, let's get weird for a second. Flying Fairy. In the original myth, Pegasus was promoted to a constellation when he died. The moon and stars are correlated with fairy type on occasion, and modern interpretations of the winged horse archetype, ranging from My Little Pony to Fire Emblem to Magic the Gathering, depict Pegasi as beings who carry enough ethereal, mystical abilities beyond simply being horses with wings that I could see them rolling fairy type if they wanted to make a more contemporary Pegasus Pokemon. On that note, this is where I actually got creative with the names. First, I combined the Spanish words for horse and fairy to create Caballada, which is probably too obscure compared to the more universally recognized Spanish numbers that were added to the elemental birds' names, but you never know. It could happen. And for the second name suggestion, I got Constallion, as in Constellation Stallion? Unfortunately, there weren't a lot of fairy or flying type moves that were super exciting, or even all that rare, but I feel like Sweet Kiss, Feather Dance, Hurricane, and Moonblast would be in the kit for this version of our Pegasus Pokemon. For stats, I'm actually going to stop shimmying Rapidash's stats around and do some math. We need that 110 speed at this point. I'm fairly confident any Pegasus should have at least a small leg up in the speed department relative to a non-winged horse. Health goes to 80 because fairies tend to have more, not to mention the whole constellation immortality thing, and will up the ante on what I said before about the water flying Pokemon being the special attacker of the horses, with a full 120 trailing just behind Mudsdale's monstrous physical attack. Along similar lines, we'll make this Pokemon's physical attack its lower end stat, 55, and the remaining stats will round out Defense 65, Special Defense 70. Not a terribly bulky Pokemon, but it could hit fast and hard. As for the My Little Pony connection, this wouldn't really do much for representing Rainbow Dash, but the gentle, calm creature that blasts you if you attack its loved ones works for Fluttershy, especially with potential shiny variations. Another representation aspect of this Pokemon is that an earlier stage without wings could represent Pinkie Pie better than my current stand-in of Sylveon. And of all the potential horse-based Pokemon, this is the only one that could stand a chance of incorporating My Little Pony's Cutie Mark concept. So even though the cultural basis for this one might be a bit shaky, I kinda want it. Lastly, we have what is for me the coolest and most believable winged horse concept for Gen 9. After searching for mythological creatures originating from Spain, where Gen 9 is meant to be set, completely expecting nothing, I discovered, to my surprise, there are in fact winged horses in Spanish mythology. Caballucos del Diablo. Souls of the departed, who weren't exactly righteous when they died, if you catch my drift, summoned by bonfires, and appearing as horses of various colors, with black manes, shining eyes, and wings like damselflies. Between the question of why not just make this a third stage for Ponytaline, and the creatures in the myth not being particularly known for flying specifically, even though they have wings, it's likely this is the only example of a winged horse Pokemon that wouldn't be flying type. Thinking about the origin and myth, it would probably be Ghostfire or Darkfire. For names, I was thinking Diablo Secto, a combination of the Spanish for devil and insect. Or just go with some variation of the generic knight, mare pun. I'm sorry, I ran out of ideas that weren't just Spanish words. Moves-wise, this Pokemon would have Fiery Dance, Inferno, Memento, and Night Daze to burn, disorient, and send enemy Pokemon to the great beyond. Stats-wise, we're back to fiddling with Rapidash's set, sacrificing both defenses to bolster health, speed, and both offenses, with no symbolic reasoning whatsoever. Either way, this is definitely quite a bit gloomier than I was looking for when I started this exercise. But it's not like that's ever stopped Game Freak before. From a My Little Pony side of things, this would admittedly feel more like you've got 4 of the main 6 and 2 changelings. But that could be fun too, and as is, we don't even have any winged horses. So if this is what it takes to make it happen, I'm down for it. In any event, this was really fun. If you have any weird hopes for animals or mythological creature archetypes you want to see in Pokemon, or any other Monster Raiser franchise, I definitely recommend looking up the local mythology that the game will be set in, or referencing heavily, as well as what's already been done with that archetype in other franchises. You might just find a new favorite thing to delve into, and it will help you appreciate the nuances of the new ideas you didn't anticipate. I know Pokemon X will always hold a special place in my heart, because I watched Doogie Shed's video predicting Sylveon would be a fairy type. In the meantime, I hope you liked this video. Now, I have to go catch up on Gens 7, 8, and Legends. Ciao!